CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our Can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time to stand for truth.
Betty, how are you? Good to see you on this Friday. How is everybody? Good morning, Barbara. Good to see you. Boo. 77. It's not Halloween yet. Hey, L.E.K. Antonio, good to see you. Hey, Patrick, good to see you. Finally got my Facebook up and running again. Night. How interesting. Nice name. How is everybody? Hey, Tammy. Thank you for coming. And if you will, go ahead and share this with everybody, and then we'll get started. Hey, Brian. How are you? Good morning, and welcome back to Facebook. I know. Welcome back to you. I got restrictions again, Patrick. I'm on restriction for till October the 13th. So no reasons, just that I could and violated the community rules in some way. It's on Facebook. Okay. Okay, Marilyn. Bad girl. I know. You know, silly me. Marilyn, I just posted. Hey, Mark, how are you? Yes, really. I've just gotten off of, let's see, it was October the 1st through the 6th, or well, I got back on the 6th, and then they just did it again, or got back. I can't remember. I was off for 6 days, and then this morning I'm off again until the 13th, so they're giving me a week off again. Anyway, while you guys are sharing, I'll talk about that in just a second. Let me read to you Proverbs 2. Hey, Bill, good to see you. This is the value of wisdom. Good morning, Don. How are you? Unpaid vacation. There you go. I know. All right. So, my son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding, yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He guards the path of justice and preserves the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, equity, and every good truth. When wisdom enters your heart and knowledge is pleasant to your soul, discretion will preserve you. Understanding will keep you, to deliver you from the way of evil, from the man who speaks perverse things, from those who leave the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perversity of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and who are devious in their paths, to deliver you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house leads down to death, and her paths to the dead. None who go to her return, nor do they regain the paths of life. So you may walk in the way of goodness and keep to the paths of righteousness. For the upright will dwell in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the earth, and the unfaithful will be uprooted from it. There you go. Hey, Spencer, good morning. Robin and Hugh, good morning to both of you. How is everybody doing? Thank you again for inviting people, if you would, please. And I tell you, today I'm having a really hard time, for whatever reason, seeing your names, so I apologize. I did this through Twitter on Periscope this morning instead of going through Periscope, so everything's pretty small on some people. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the article that I wrote in regards to Las Vegas and the additional information that came out yesterday in regards to Las Vegas. Some of this you may have already heard. It's okay, Barbara. And if you would, guys, please go ahead and share this and retweet this, if you would. New reports continue to surface regarding the Las Vegas shooter. The most recent one is the possibility that the shooter planned additional attacks, including a car bomb. Hello, Oleg. Welcome. Okay, Barbara, not a problem. And hey, Janice, how are you? Robert, good morning. How is everybody that I didn't say hello to? And again, I'm having difficult seeing some of these. They're so small, it's incredible. So anyway, now here's what I wanted you to know, that Lombardo also came out and said that 1,600 rounds of ammunition was found in the shooter's car, as well as fertilizer that could be used to make explosives, and 50 pounds of tannerite, which is an explosive substance. Some of this, you have heard, like I said. But here's some new information. A woman by the name of Rukmini, it's Rukmini, Calamachi, not an easy name to pronounce. And if you go to SusanKnowles.com, you'll see this is the first article up there that you can read this for yourself. She's a contributor to NBC, but she's also a correspondent for the New York Times covering ISIS. That's her main job, is to do that. Now, she talked about why she believed that this was also an ISIS-involved massacre. And as I've said from the very beginning in the research that I've done, I see a connection with at least a possibility of having an investigation towards that end, leaning towards ISIS involvement. She said, after ISIS claimed Vegas, I was waiting for them to release NABA, N-A-B-A, their weekly newsletter, to see if anything new emerged. NABA is out. In that newsletter, there is a picture in the tweet which shows an image of a blood-drenched Mandalay Bay with a statement by ISIS that they stand by the claim that they were involved in the massacre in Las Vegas. They also said that the shooter converted 6 months ago to Islam. She does reiterate that ISIS has had plenty of opportunities. Hey, Preacher, how are you? She's had plenty of opportunities they have to declare responsibility, but have not done so. So, again, here's another person that is essentially, I would say, expert on the subject of ISIS. She's saying that they don't just typically come out and claim responsibility unless they are responsible. However, she admits that, so far they've shown kind of like zero evidence from the shooting itself, from being there, whatever. Now, there's another group that came out. Did she give specifics? She just talked about her focus was on that newsletter from NABA and what was in that newsletter, and how in the past that typically ISIS does not claim responsibility unless they are actually responsible. Now, there's another group called UnderstandingTheThreat.com. They are an organization which provides threat-focused strategic and operational consultation, training, and education for federal, state, and local leadership and agencies in government, the private sector, and for private citizens. Now, they issued the following statement about ISIS involvement. Here's what they said. Hello, how are you? Good to see you this morning, Lee. Before any real information about the shooter was put out via U.S. media outlets, Understanding the Threat, UTT, published a tweet at 6:34 a.m. Central Standard Time on Monday assessing the Las Vegas attack was likely a jihadi operation. So far as UTT has been able to ascertain, we were the first organization in America to reach this conclusion. The following was the basis for their analysis. Number one, the Islamic State has previously called for attacks on the U.S. homeland and has specifically mentioned Las Vegas, Nevada as a target. The Islamic State issued a statement last week through one of its information outlets calling for Muslims to avoid places in America and elsewhere where crusaders gather, and have mentioned major events as good targets. In recent days, jihadis had launched attacks in Europe. The target of the attack was another reason they think it was a jihadi attack, and the method and execution of the attack. Hey, Gisette, good morning. Gary, good morning. So that's their reasoning as to why they believe that this was ISIS linked. Now, I know that there are many theories. I know that yesterday, and I went to Scope in regards to the man who said this had to have been an FBI agent, a former FBI agent or current one, who was, it was an arms deal gone bad, kind of like Fast and Furious. I thought about it. I thought a lot about it. And from the very beginning, I thought it was ISIS connected. But I thought about it, and my conclusion is, and maybe somebody out there has some information you can tell me, why this is or is not correct. If this was an arms deal, would you really go, hey, Jerry, would you really go and buy the guns from a gun show dealer? Does the FBI have to go to a gun show to buy guns? I mean, that makes no sense to me. Hey, Marlene, that really makes no sense to me. That an FBI agent would go through a gun dealer to buy guns. And that's, Don, that's the one of the reasons that I'm stuck on that I don't believe it was an FBI agent. Now, do I believe he knows a lot of information? Could he have been selling guns? Hey, Sherry, yeah, I believe all of that he could have been selling guns. I don't believe necessarily that he's an FBI agent. Hey, Lisa, for those very reasons. I don't think he would go out to a gun show and buy those guns. That part does not make sense. The FBI, is not going to do that. They're not going to have you go out, buy guns at the gun show, and then go meet with, ISIS and try to sell guns. In my mind. Does anybody else have a different point of view? Robin says the whole country is in danger and the people need to know what's going on. Robin, I absolutely, wholeheartedly agree to you. Buy guns on your own name and sell them. Big Ralph said, I don't see why the FBI would have you go to a gun show if you worked for them to buy guns. And why would you need bump stock if you are a gun runner? Yeah, I mean, that part to me just does not add up. So, I mean, there have been several individuals now that have said that they believe it's an ISIS connected because, the biggest thing is that ISIS came out and claimed responsibility. And again, if you look in the past, they don't typically do that. They don't claim responsibility unless they actually are responsible. 3 times. Yeah. I mean, now they've come out and right afterwards they said they were responsible. Now in another newsletter, Wayne Root is blaming ISIS. Yeah, Wayne Allen Root is from Las Vegas. Yeah, to me it just seems like ISIS all over the place. Yes, the FBI would and has done exactly those sorts of things. They won't do it to their own, but their informers would do just that to anyone else. No, Spencer, I'm not saying that the FBI might not be involved in Fast and Furious. What doesn't make sense is that you would send your FBI agent out to a gun show to buy guns to sell in a Fast and Furious type operation. That's what doesn't make sense. CIA said it's very rare that they make false claims, that the ISIS makes false claims. Yeah, I believe that. My trust is fully in God, but I'm tired of not being told the truth. I have never, seems too organized for ISIS. I don't know. Hey, that's okay that you're joining late, Ron. It's okay. ISIS is, if you've got people working with you and you're ISIS and you're trained well, I mean, we don't know who these radicalized people are. That's just it. We don't. I mean, Julia, we don't have all the information, I don't think. But I will say this. This is the first time that I can remember in a long time that like the whole seems like everybody I know in the United States is trying to figure out what happened. This guy was not dumb no, he wasn't dumb. That's for sure. And I don't know who's radicalized. Let's just say hypothetically there are radicalized people in the United States that are willing to help ISIS, and we know that there are people who have joined ISIS. Are these the people that are helping ISIS and become smart, if you will? I don't know. I don't know that answer. His brother is lying, and the girlfriend too. The brother's video to me was very much, I don't want to say staged, Unable yesterday to post you on Facebook. Thought, wow. Yeah, I've been restricted on Facebook again. So again, I'm on another 7-day restriction on Facebook. They really do not. And see, the post I did this morning was on more information coming out about the shooter. They gave me no explanation why they were doing what they did, and they just automatically restricted me and said, you're out for 7 days. That video was very suspect. It was weird. And as I said, when he said, my brother's an arm, and he stopped right there. Yeah, and see, to me, it's kind of like if you work for the FBI and the CIA, you don't typically go around telling your friends and family, like, hey, you know, I'm an FBI agent and I'm an arms dealer. Not saying that you wouldn't. I'm saying that typically the people that I've known that, you know, that I even suspected worked for the FBI and the CIA, they won't tell you anything. NCAA said this was an inside job. The U.S. government itself helped ISIS, the Islamic State, Gary said. So, I mean, I think but I've never, he's not telling the truth. Yeah, that was just the weirdest, you know, type of interview. It was an inside job. What's the reason? If it was, I don't know. I'm not convinced that it was an inside job. I'm on the ISIS team. I'm on the, we need to investigate that it was ISIS, because it, you know, there's just too many things. The research I've done, hearing these experts talked about it. Now I've presented to you 3 experts that have said that it was ISIS. CIA ties, Chicago Pops again. I'm wondering if you're CIA, why are you buying guns from a gun show? That's the part I can't reconcile. You know, they would be giving you the guns to sell. You wouldn't need to go to a gun show to go out and then sell guns if you were part of Fast and Furious. Gary said Canada is also helping in a big way through oil. So that's interesting. They also said report breaking begun and tried to buy. Yes, I was just getting to that. The Las Vegas shooter attempted to buy tracer ammunition at a gun show in Phoenix. It has pyrotechnic charge, so when the round is fired, the shooter can see exactly where the bullet has gone. So that's why when he was, you know, firing into the dark, he probably couldn't see people. It would have been more targets for him, and it would have been even worse. The FBI gun runner, you know, my thoughts again, the FBI gun runner wouldn't be going around raising suspicion, which, I mean, you know, typically this would raise suspicion. You would have that supplied to you if you were with the FBI. In Fast and Furious, they pressured gun dealers to sell to those they would not have sold to otherwise. I can see that, Spencer. I can. But if you're going to be somebody who sells those guns from the FBI, I don't think that you would be doing it that way. No ties to CIA. He's been collecting guns for 20 years. Amber said, yep, that's what I've heard for a very long time. Gary said we buy oil from many Islamic countries while shutting down Canada's own oil. Woo, that sounds kind of eerily familiar. Now, there's other claims that are coming out. Where can I find a source linking the attack to ISIS? Well, NCAA. I'm glad you asked. Go to SusanKnowles.com. Look at the 2 articles that I've done. All of my articles have sources in there. Just follow the hyperlinks. You'll go exactly to where that I found the information. You can also go to understandingthetruth.com. That's what I just read to you as far as the other organization. We will not be overthrown by an enemy storming our shores, but from within our own borders by those that on the surface appear to be one of us, Patrick said. Absolutely. Yeah, so the 2 articles I have, just scroll down. You'll see them. One I just did. The one was a couple of days ago. And again, here's the weird thing. People's reaction on Facebook is very strange these days. For example, typically, a lot of people on Facebook and social media love conspiracy-type theories. I have seen so many people on Facebook now get absolutely angry over the fact that anybody is talking about this shooting. It makes me believe that they're not real people, but perhaps bots or something. I don't know. I've never seen this reaction before. And people are saying to myself and other people, stop talking about the shooting. Understanding the threat, you said truth instead of threat. Oh. No, understanding the sorry. Thank you for correcting that. Understanding the threat. Isn't that what they are? Let me see. Did I said okay, yeah, all right. So understanding the threat. If I said truth, sorry about that. Understanding the threat. But let me go back over here. So as I was saying, with Facebook, people do not want you to talk about this, and it's very strange. I don't get that attitude. Yeah, we all hate Facebook. I know. But what I'm saying is that typically people want people to talk about it. And these are supposedly people in different groups that generally would want to talk about something like this and find out what the real truth is. And they don't want to. I'm motivated to shove a... Oh, really? Wow. You might have to do that in another scope. I think they come on at night. But anyway... it's just an odd thing, and that's why I don't even know if these are real people or these are Facebook people. Not surprised at all that the media tied the shooting to POTUS through the NRA and the Democrats. Just that said, hey, John, good to see you. Conspiracy theories will surround this just like the JFK shooting. Will never have the complete truth. Probably. But I feel like that a lot of Americans really are desperate to know what the real truth is because of the fact that we know there's more coming. We know, and maybe I'll respond for myself. I really feel that ISIS has really infiltrated the United States so much on a large scale that they don't want us to know that. They don't also want us to know that so that there's no like repercussions against the Muslim community. So I think they're very much trying to keep this quiet, and they're shutting us down, our voices down in so many places. Now, there's another claim. I know, Marlene. I mean, it tells you that it really doesn't. Your gut says that 2A is meant to protect us from our government. That's true, Amber. It's quite possible. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a theory, okay? JFK was accidentally shot by the Secret Service. Never heard that one. We all need to pray for Susan. She tries to get to the truth, and she comes under attack as a result. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that. Daily Mail is claiming that the shooter slept with prostitutes. And they're an Australian businessman who was in a relationship with Danley's sister, the Mary Lou Danley's sister, according to what's being alleged, saw him, the shooter, always being condescending towards Mary Lou. And he feels that he was connected, with prostitutes. Now, I have no idea. Again, I'm just reporting. That was in your newspaper today, too, in Las Vegas, Marianne said. So there you go. And, typically, that you guys that know, I don't typically watch Alex Jones. No, it's not really relevant unless he was compromised in some way or a prostitute may know something more. That would be, I think, Bill said, I think you're right about ISIS. Thanks, Bill. What's sleeping with hookers have to do with anything? The hookers may have some information. The hookers may know how many times he's come to Vegas. Did the hookers see anybody else? That's why the hooker information is important. Now, as I was trying to say that with Alex Jones, I don't typically like Alex Jones. I don't typically follow Alex Jones. I think he likes to sensationalize things. He had a report last night that showed two things, and I watched it because of the videos. Yeah, the regulars might have information. Well, maybe they will round them up. Maybe they're already rounding them up. We don't know. But there was a video that Alex showed last night of a woman who's in the Bellagio. And she's walking and she's videotaping herself after what she claims is an incident that happened in Bellagio where shots were fired, where her husband jumped on top of her to protect her and everything else. And she's walking down the hallway. Now, on the night of this, on the night of what happened, of the event, I was listening to, no, it isn't about a white race. So, let's not accuse things about being racist, about ISIS being racist, or it has to be a white face. I mean, keep racism out of it. Anyway, on the night of the event, as I was listening to the live feed and the scanner from the police, I was hearing that there were other shootings in other casinos. And it was so much so that it sounded like they were just going in and picking people off. I mean, it really did. Now, as I mentioned before, the dispatcher, when they were talking to a female that I'm assuming was either a police officer, I would have to assume that's who it was, or a security guard within one of the casinos. That person reported there were people running, shots fired, and people were hit. And the dispatcher said, "Did you hear anything? Did you see anything?" And the woman on the phone said no. So again, there's a discrepancy there between the woman on the phone and the person with the Bellagio who's saying something happened inside the Bellagio. Now, what I want to know is, where are these people that claim to see things like the woman in the Bellagio, et cetera, et cetera? Why haven't they come out to the media? That's very suspicious to me. Spencer said 2 multi-year investigations by 2 separate investigators have concluded JFK was shot by a Secret Service person whose gun misfired in the following car. Hughes said, "I heard New York, New York, and Circus, Circus on the scanner." Yeah, I mean, there was Tropicana, there was, a whole bunch of different, Luxor, and it was supposed to be a bomb inside of an SUV, a black SUV Audi in Luxor. I mean, what happened with all that? Patrick said, "We need to find out the truth. If we do not, the American people will withdraw within themselves and themselves against the unknown enemy, and eventually begin striking out against all." I want to know, and I think the American people want to know, because we know pretty much this is going to happen again. And if we're not being told the truth, I mean, really, we're getting it's not fair to us to be put in situations that we don't understand what's going on, that they do and we don't. People ran from the scene and were screaming all the way down the strip, so as they entered the hotel. Exactly. We thought it was that hotel. We can't trust our government, Marlene said. FBI really needs to come clean this time. I agree with Ralph. I'm so confused and really need to know what happened, Susan. We all do. We all do. Hugh said the SUV was a black Audi. Yes, Hugh. I want to know the truth. Wounded people ran away, and they were all over the city. Yeah, one guy ran like really far. He ran to the airport, and any people were just running as far away as they could. And again, when the people got in the cab, they were saying that hundreds were killed. Hundreds were shot and killed. And of course, when you're in a panic like that, you would be apt to say that, because when you see people going down like that, you're not going to stand there and do a head count. And I get all that. At least the FBI think that Las Vegas sheriff will leak the truth. Videos from casinos and the hallway. This is the first I've heard other casinos being involved. Yeah, it was on the scanner in CAA. I listened to the scanner live. I know what I heard. I don't know where you can get that information. It's probably on a Periscope. I think the guy was Facebook Live News, and there was one other. I'm trying to, if I can remember the Periscope guy, I'll tell you. I think the pics were leaked because they knew we weren't being told the truth. Do these places not have cameras? They do have cameras. They don't have cameras necessarily in the rooms. FBI is scared to death of what the sheriff will leak. Is the FBI scared of what the sheriff will leak? Or is there a possibility that the FBI wants the sheriff to leak some information? Yep, I was listening live as well, and yes, they were looking for more. It looks like, I don't know if that's Dana or Dan. I'm sorry, I wish I could see that far. 22,000 people in a panic situation. Yes, John. Sheriff Joe is good. No, I think he's a good guy. But, he's even said that he doesn't know all that the FBI knows. And maybe the FBI is letting him lead people down the wrong way. I don't know. You think the pics were from the FBI? Could be. Amber said. I'm not really sure. Robin, we had years of lies from Obama. I pray that Trump will tell us the truth. And see, my only thing there is, Robin, will Trump be told the truth? That's the thing. How much information is being given to him? How much information are they going to give to him? I would hope everything. Oh, gosh. Wow, Hillary supporter, so early. I don't think Trump is being told a lot. Are we impatient with investigation or paranoid, simply frustrated? Neither one. I'm not in Vegas. I think the reason that people want to know, now, as you know, if you've been in any of my scopes, I'm the one who usually says, let's wait until we know all the facts. Something is very different about this. Presidents do not always get the whole story. Yes, that's true. If you could, we're at the halfway point. If you would please retweet this, I would really appreciate it. It is sad if we have to ask if our president knows, but we know that Kelly's not telling him everything. Got a comment, agree pics from the FBI not thinking this sheriff's department would not leak. Yeah, I just, I don't know, but I know they said there's going to be an investigation into those pictures and who put them out there. So they weren't obviously authorized to be put out there. Post on Twitter not working. That's very odd. Hey, was that Billie Jean King with the rude comment? I don't know. I've heard they have so much video and they don't want to release it because of all the lawsuits. They were making excuses that the sheriff was tired. I can understand that they do not want to release all the information they have, nor should they. Because there are still people, again, we talked about it a while ago, the prostitutes could possibly have some answers on questions that have not been answered. Other people that may have known him may know things. It does all stink, Marlene. I agree with that. But I think, the public, I'm concerned about public safety. Could be looking for people. This is why integrity of FBI and DOJ is so important. People have lost trust in them. Please slow talking a little. I thought I was. But I think that it's important for public safety that we know enough. We need Paul Harvey with the rest of the story right now. Yep. I think that they need to tell us enough about how to protect ourselves, or if we, are there a lot of people here that we need to be more aware of than what we're being told? Not letting local police do much. Yep. Yeah, they really think that they're going to be class action suits. That sheriff has got to be exhausted. Yes. I don't understand English if you're fast talking. Investigation isn't complete, Joe. Always give conference when they are. Yeah, and again, I don't think they're going to tell us everything. Now, the other video that I saw last night, and I don't know if you saw this as well, there was a woman that appeared to be sitting in an airport. Apparently, it was supposed to be, I believe, either a Las Vegas or Los Angeles airport, not sure which one. There was a man that was videotaping this woman covered by, I believe, like a tan blanket. And they were saying that appeared to be Mary Lou Danley. I don't know if it was, and even they couldn't confirm if it was or not. But this woman was sitting there, kind of slouched in the seat, covered up with a blanket, and uttered the words, "In 4 days, America," boom, and her foot went up. Don't know if it was her or not. Seems odd. And it was about 4 days later that this happened in Las Vegas. I understand we won't get the answers right away, but I wonder if we will ever hear the whole truth. We have so many Muslims living around us thanks to Obama, Robin said. Yeah. So, Big Al, I mean, I think, you got to know that if we saw, FBI has facial recognition, the FBI should know whether or not that was her, must have, questioned her. People make up so much stuff to insert themselves into the story. They do. This did not look like a made-up story. And the man, I think there was a man and his child who was walking by, who took the video. They were walking by the airport. I think they thought the woman was acting a little strange, and they took the video. Can anybody retweet this on Twitter right now? Can you see if you can share this? I have done this a little different. I went through Twitter live, so I want to make sure that it can be retweeted and shared. If not, I probably won't go through them anymore. But we'll see what happens. So again, I have no idea. Thank you guys for sharing this. It sounds so weird. All of it sounds weird. There's airport cameras. They can pull them up. Yes. Whatever happens to the woman telling the concert goers they were going to die, I don't know. Thank you, Julia, for sharing. They did say that, they escorted her away. I don't know if they just let her go. I don't know. There's so much, and again, so many unanswered questions. I understand it's early in the investigation. What I want to know, my particular thing is, I want to know, and I think the American public has a right to know whether there is some degree of suspicion right now with the FBI, who has basically in the beginning came out, according to the reports, and just said this has nothing connected to ISIS. I want to know if this is connected to ISIS. And are there more people like this? You were able to retweet. Good, Hugh. Thank you. I want to know if there are more people out there where this could be a possibility down the road. At least tell us that. At least tell us, look, ISIS has said they want to attack the United States, and there's a possibility, you should go out there, look around, know where your exits are, be safe. I want to know that. I think as American public, we have a right to at least know that much. Without enough information, people will begin to panic, distrust the government, and revolution against the people begins, destroy from within, Patrick said. And I think, that the FBI guy who said that the Americans trust in him, he's so far out there, I don't know. People from my town were there, and they say the woman who held the sign was often seen carrying it. There's an entire camp of Muslims here in my state, same sign at different times. Did you see the girlfriend timeline of travel? Very unusual in the past. Yeah, I mentioned yesterday, Marianne, that she traveled a lot, that her neighbors said that she was gone a lot. That she would come back, she'd be gone for like 3 weeks, she'd come back, be gone for a couple of months, that she traveled a lot. So I don't know what all that means. So far, evidence points to 7 shooters. I haven't seen that, Fred, but good Lord, I don't know. I did re-listen to why was the Mandalay Bay shut down after shooting, no one in or out. Well, I mean, a lot of evidence gathering. Did she work? I know, Cully. She did at one point. We know that she worked in Reno, they said, as a dealer in one of the casinos. I think that's how they met. But after that, I mean, I doubt it. She probably, living with him, didn't have to work if he's a multimillionaire. So, I don't know. Ballistics will show how many shooters there were. I was going to say, was she an American citizen? I think she's Australian. I wanted to talk about the taxi cab driver. I listened to that again where the woman was sitting at the Bellagio. She said she was sitting there underneath the Bellagio, I think. And when the rapid fire of bullets started in the beginning, it was very muffled and sounded far away. It really did. And then the next time, which was just a few seconds later, maybe 30 seconds, maybe less, the bullets sounded like they were right over her head and right over the car. So that's very strange to me. Different pitches for sure. Yeah. And at first I thought maybe it was you shot out of one window, fired out of one window, and then fired out of the other one, and it made the different sound. But that was, listening to it again, and I heard it on the night of the live scanning. You could hear different bullets and different sounds. But that one sounded so different. She was under the entrance, yes, but the first round, she was still under the entrance, and it sounded so far away. Hi, Hassan. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. Monique, good to see you. Antifa blocking traffic today in California. Oh, I don't know why they block traffic in California. They should be happy. Governor Jerry Brown signed the sanctuary state bill in California. So they should be happy. Sheriff said several guns jammed. It is like canyons there. Yeah, it was just really noticeable. Over 12 million people follow Islam in the Philippines. There you go. What about the 100,000 he wired to the Philippines? Josette said. I know. Sorry about my moronic state, too. First 7 floors are not guest floors, Marianne said. Yeah, well, Brown is just, I don't know. If you fly to the Philippines, you have to go through Hong Kong or Japan. That's probably why they were saying that that's where she was. Yes, because watch it sprays one way, then the other side, so it was going to the other window. It was, and maybe she was, I don't know where she was, though, where the first time out of one window, it sounded very far away, and the second time, supposedly out of the same floor, it sounded like it was right over her head. It was just very odd. Hey, Joseph. Not saying that wasn't what happened. It just sounded like one was really far away and one was right there. An echo. The echo I could understand, but why did one sound like it was like a couple miles down the road? I mean, it did sound very far away. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just saying it sounded far away. They will never be happy. Brown pandering to them was a very bad thing. I think Americans would be shocked at how many follow Islam in the U.S. Yep. The guy who installed windows in Mandalay Bay said pressure would have pulled something. Oh, would you say that again, Marianne? The cadence is off to sound wave analysis can be done, Jerry said. Las Vegas. I didn't get Marianne's point. Why he did 2 windows is bizarre. He had direct sight from both. Thought it was a machine gun or an AK when heard it. I'm in California. High school I went to is going to have a live shooter exercise. That seems weird. We should be more on guard now, especially in California, because criminals like M16, M13 gangs will flock here. Yes. You said M16s. Those are rifles, Sherry. He says breaking the window would suck him out, pressured. Wow. Now that's interesting. Kind of funny. We have near daily classified leaks yet. After 5 days, not a picture of anything inside. Could that window, Marianne, could that window have been broken out by that sledgehammer? I saw the sledgehammer. It's about this big. And, you know, it was about that. The head on that was about like that. Could that have broken that window out? Is that possible? Some people are saying that's impossible, that could have done that unless they stood there for a half an hour and beat out the windows. I mean, I don't know what to think about that. That, too, is kind of a mystery to me, and I'm not believing it. Well, he got it out somehow, and he shot out, yeah. And see, a lot of other people the other day were saying it was bulletproof. His point was both windows needed to be done simultaneously, so possibly 2 people. Or what about explosives, Marianne? My first impulse was that he used the explosives he had in the car, the ammonium nitrate, to blow that out, or something like C4, because that would have blown that out like that. So, and it could have gone off at the same time. And I'm sure the FBI is looking into possibilities like that. This guy installed the windows. Wow. The guns were rigged to keep firing as he went to the other one. Yes, Barbara, that's what they said. One was set up on like a tripod. They claim. Some other people have refuted that, saying that one was, you know, continually firing while he went to the other window. In my neighborhood, 12 city blocks have street signs stating Islamic parking only. Wow, Gary. What's up with that? That's in Canada. That is very strange. And most people don't spend much time in their room, so I don't think anyone would hear it. Those tripods would fall over. You'd think. Yeah, Marlene, you would think. Gary, why do they explain that those parking signs are like that in Canada? What do they tell you? Hey, Big Al. The fire extinguisher would have popped. Maybe. Never seen a Catholic only park. Yeah, I know. We have a mosque right behind our mall. I avoid the mall as much as possible, Robin said. Odd stuff. I mean, you don't see Catholic only parking or anything else. That's very odd. Now, let me tell you some other news quickly here. Unemployment rate fell to 4.2 in September, which is the lowest level in 16 years. He dismantled the system, I read. Huh. So that would make sense. Let's see. The U.S. economy lost 33,000 jobs because of the hurricane, first decline in 6 years. Amish buggy parking only. Exactly. Oh, is that not racist to have one type of parking? Well, it is Canada. Want pictures tonight would be a good time to take them. Gary, why do they say that they have that parking there? What's the reason for Muslim-only parking in your neighborhood? Spencer said that hammer would have busted that window. I've seen a hammer like that used to put a hole in a 45-foot sailboat hole below the waterline. That's not a cheap trick. Wow. He played off his 100K marker, so he didn't intend to kill himself. Oh, he paid off his 100K marker, so he didn't intend to kill himself. Yes. Pray for Canada. Yeah. There's an Islamic center there. It used to be a community college. Great, Gary. So I guess they're saying they need that parking for the college. Is that it? A little glass punch will break your windshield. I've seen Amish parking here in Ohio. It was hitching posts for them. After the MGM Grand fire, impossible. Don said. Let's see. There was another earthquake last night, a 6.3 off of eastern Japan. It happened at about 4 a.m. Eastern time. Sheriff was adamant that he intended to escape. Yeah, I believe that. Private parking lots are a thing. Why not private parking spaces? Well, you don't want to make them have to pay now, do you? Like the rest of us. Illegals are leaving USA in large amounts going to Canada. Yeah, the illegals that are leaving are from Haiti because their visas are starting to expire here, and they're not sure what's going to happen with that. So it's really the Haitians that were here that are going to Canada right now. There was also a Russian strike that killed 14 civilians in eastern Syria last night. Yes, open your arms wide, Canada. Let everybody in. Andy said there are ceramic fragments that criminals use to break windows. Can't remember what he called them, but they hit glass just right to easily break it, Sherry said. Not just Haiti. You got who else is coming there, Gary? We'll send some more people your way. As I said, California is officially a sanctuary state. That starts in January. The feds are saying it's possible that the feds may try to stop that from taking effect, but according to the LA Times, they may not be successful in doing so. Yeah. You're welcome, Gary. We'll send so many people. I have window breaker in my car, Cully said. Okay. Will it break heavy windows? Because I don't think those windows, and it could be wrong, it didn't seem like they were the typical windows. Your headrest removed will break glass. Whoa. Move from California, Susan, you are in a cesspool. Yes, for sure. Kimmy Mullins, a Vegas shooter is the act of either terrorism or our government. Does anyone agree? Kimmy, we talked about that. You may want to go back and listen to this at the beginning. A lot of people have different theories. I think it was ISIS related. We got to get out of the state. I know, Sherry. Whew. If anybody has any states that you think are good states, let me know. Now, supposedly the Mueller team interviewed the British spy, Christopher Steele, who compiled the Trump-Russia dossier. They said that he was interviewed in Europe a couple of weeks ago. It's odd that supposedly happened, and then we had, Yeah, 30 good states voted for Trump. There you go. That we had the other day that the Senate Intelligence Committee was saying that they couldn't find out any information about the dossier. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, they got nothing. That now Mueller goes and does what they're doing. Come to Kentucky, we have Governor Matt Bevin, and things are so much better here. Yeah, I can believe that. Some other information, they're saying that it looks like President Trump is going to decertify the Iran deal. If he decertifies it, then Congress could reintroduce economic sanctions that were suspended under the agreement. Iran has said that they threatened to like walk away and restart their nuclear program if this occurs. Move to New Mexico, plenty of wide open defensible space, Patrick said. I read a long time ago Steele was paid for the dossier, but who is the question? Burr and Warner said they found nothing, but we'll keep looking. Yeah, of course. No stone unturned. Let's just keep looking. Let's keep using taxpayer money because it's an endless sieve for them. Governor Jerry Brown hates his country that much. Yeah, he does. It's too bad Iran received all those billions. I know, Antonio. Like, now that we tell them, okay, we're going to sanction you, now that you have all the money. And according to what I've seen, that Tillerson and Trump both want, I know Mighty Blessed One, get rid of Burr, get rid of most of those people that are rhinos that are doing absolutely zero. Yep, Gary, you can't make a deal with the devil and expect them to honor an agreement. So Iran will break any agreement. Iran never stopped their nuclear program. I know, Spencer, they didn't. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, it's interesting. They want to make you think that they actually did stop the program. Grow alfalfa. Yeah, good alfalfa. Speaking of states, Flake proposed a $1.6 billion plan to help dreamers. God, Jeff Flake has been the biggest disappointment. Next to John McCain, Flake has been just a huge disappointment. Hey, Rhonda, I didn't see you come in. I don't think I said good morning. Probably read some of your stuff, but didn't say good morning. Yeah, Iran, and not only that, but they've helped North Korea with theirs. Meanwhile, a terabyte of congressional server data has been downloaded and still someone is accessing. Great, Jerry. Obama sending pallets of cash to, yeah, he did that. Put cash. Giant flake, that's for sure, Deborah. Flake is a flake, yes. Okay. All right, Rhonda, go, cool. Flake's name should have tipped us all off. I know, really? Seriously. There's also information coming out. I don't know if this is real or not, so take it with a grain of salt. This was Politico said this, that the White House Chief of Staff's personal cell phone, that's John Kelly, was compromised at the time that Kelly was the head of the DHS. Obama hates his country just as much to try and dismantle it as well. Yes, Josette. Juan in court this morning, his iPhone was wiped clean just before he tried to board the plane. Huh. Now that's unusual, Jerry. I'm sure that was just an accident. So anyway, the thing about it with his personal cell phone, John Kelly's personal cell phone, only God can fix this mess, Antonio. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hillary knows about wiping clean. That's right. You mean, Jerry, with bleach? Like a bleach that you use in your house? So Kelly had not used his personal cell phone since he joined the Trump administration. So there's probably no information that they got off of it. Yeah, with a dust cloth. There you go, Marianne. It was a 10-pound hammer. But so nothing was really compromised. But he said rumors that people, that they need to find out who did that, who hacked his phone. I wonder. Couldn't have been anybody in the deep state or anything like that. So let's not even go there. Let's not even look at those people. Also, in other news, there's rumors that people around President Trump want the CIA director, Mike Pompeo, to replace Tillerson. And John Kelly is against having any, major staff like Tillerson leave until next year because there's just been too much instability. So I don't know how that's going to work out for Tillerson. I don't know if Mike Pompeo would be a good replacement. I don't know that if President Trump would even consider that. And who knows if the story is even true. It's from Politico. Hillary needs to move where people can care about what she says because we don't as far as possible. Where would that be, Robin? I can only think of one place. Yeah, that's what saying, Monique. Questionable. Yeah, questionable story. And again, you've seen that they want to divide, want to be very divisive with this whole administration. They want to act like that they're constantly at each other's throats, that they can't get anything done. Well, Robin, I was thinking a little bit warmer place, but Haiti wants Hillary. Hollywood cover up Harvey Weinstein. Is anybody, is there any organization out there, like on the left that can be trusted, or what people on the left, what they're saying? Anybody, is there anybody can be trusted anymore? I'm just not sure. Just not sure. I say wipe the Congress and anyone leftovers from Obama. I do too. Yeah, I mean, there are some people, Deborah, that were appointed and cannot be fired, even if they were from under Obama. Not unless I think you'd have to go through Congress to get them fired. Also, Tropical Storm Nate is heading towards the Gulf Coast, and it should be there on Saturday. Looks like it's heading towards Louisiana, tip of Tennessee, and North Carolina. Have no idea if it's going to actually stay that way. Category 1. It's like, whew. We need a little break from the hurricanes here and the tropical storms and all that, but I'm not sure we're going to get those. Now, I don't know if you heard this, too. I want to go back a little bit about the gunman in the last couple of minutes. Hillary under the bridge to scare kids for Halloween, Don said. The Chicago police are claiming that the shooter in Las Vegas booked rooms at the Blackstone Hotel overlooking the massive music festival Lollapalooza this past summer. TMZ reports that he booked one room at the Blackstone Hotel on Michigan Avenue for August 1, 2017, 2 days before the festival began on August 3rd. He then booked a second room for an August 3rd arrival. Both rooms had an August 6th checkout, which is when the festival ended. He specifically requested a room be a view room overlooking Grant Park, which is where the annual concert is held. TMZ reports its sources say that he had never booked a room at the hotel before, nor had his girlfriend, and that neither showed up for the August booking. He posted pictures that appear to be screenshots of the Blackstone Hotel booking computers that show that that the shooter had the rooms reserved. So not sure why he didn't show up for that. That's kind of odd. Again, I'm sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but that's something to me that ISIS would do. Just saying. And it'd be interesting to know, hey, Danielle, it'd be interesting to know, did something come up around that time? Obama's daughters were there. Is that I saw that headline about Obama's daughters being connected to the shooter. I think that's a cheap headline, really. I mean, that's clickbait. Prayers that Nate will disappear, exactly. Or just turn into rain. So the CBS executive who was fired for making the comment about the people who died in Las Vegas, yeah, I may have noticed too much security. No, they were at the festival. That woman has since been getting death threats for the comments that she made about Las Vegas. She claims, she's already gone ahead and apologized, and why are people doing that? Nope, Danielle came out at the same time. Nancy Sinatra tweeted Thursday that the murderous members of the NRA should be executed by a firing squad. So there you go. Nancy had her say. Not sure why people wouldn't go out. Maybe the FBI should investigate Nancy Sinatra. So, just saying. Anyway, you guys, time is up. It flew by. Hope you got a lot of the news today. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for sharing this. If you would please share it and retweet it, I would really appreciate it. And also, I'm sure Nancy has security and weapons. Bless you too, Antonio. Thank you so much. We'll watch the replay. Good, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you. God bless you. And we'll be talking to you again soon. Have a great weekend if I don't see you beforehand. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Take care, guys. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks so much for being here. God bless you. And we'll talk to you again really soon.